look, a big part of our show moving forward is we're going to try to set up shows where we take questions from our audience. John and I'll speak for John here. We're always appreciative of how many people listen, and in this case, sent in questions. We're going to answer a few of these here. Let's open it up with Carthage Matthew on Twitter. He asks, on a scale of 1 to 10, what are your thoughts on Carson Bench starting in left field for my New York Mets? I guess I could say zero because now
Well, we know what it
Soto is
means.
going to be the left fielder, but I would
Right.
put at no lower than 50% and as much as 75% that he'll be the starting right fielder. John, it seems to me that Stearns wants to make an imprint with young players by breaking in a few every year. And the Mets internally see Carson Bench as one of the 10 best prospects in the sport, and they want him to break through. I think if he shows it in spring training, he's going to be starting against Paul Skeens on March 26th. What do you think?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think Benj will be the right fielder. So I think that the answer is yes to that because we didn't know obviously when he sent that question in that Soto was now moving to left field. So yeah, they believe in Benj, another Oklahoma State guy. I'm getting NBA mixed up like Utah. I love the NBA, but Oklahoma State guy like McLean, another huge prospect for the Mets, and they really believe in him. So hopefully the proof's in the pudding. We'll see this year. I do believe.
Yeah. Next question is from Ryan underscore H67, also from Twitter. What are your expectations for the Mets this season, and do you think they lack something to be a winning team? Why don't you take that one first, John?
Yeah, I mean, I think the expectations should be similar to last year. I mean, in terms of the expectations there were last year, not how they finished. I think they look like about a 90 win team. I know they had 91 last year. I think they're probably about the same this year. Obviously, the Dodgers are the heavy favorite. They've made a lot of changes. They don't have as much power. They have more contact, a little better defensively. I like the rotation a little bit more. I like the bullpen a little bit less. All in all, they look about the same to me. Now, hopefully for their sake, they don't have that kind of slow drip disaster that we saw over the last 4 months of last season. I don't know that anybody can repeat that, but they should win 90 games, but they should have won 90 last year.
Yeah, one thing to keep in mind is we could get myopic and fans could get myopic at this time of year. I did notice Spencer Schwellenbach is going to miss significant time for the Braves. He was supposed to be in their rotation. They have a lot of injuries to begin the year. Their catcher, Sean Murphy, a few of their pitchers, etc. Their shortstop, Kim, won't begin the year. So that's that. Dave Dombrowski of the Phillies mentioned that Zach Wheeler will not start the season in the Phillies rotation. They're out still looking for starters. So that's the two teams they probably are going to have to beat out again to do something. Having said that, John, the one thing I would say is I'm not comfortable with the bullpen right now. I think fully healthy, they have really good left-handers in Minter and Rayleigh. And then I have a lot of questions about everything else. I know the underlying numbers on Devin Williams were good last year, but Devin Williams was not good last year. Luke Weaver was not nearly as good last year as the year before. Let's see if they could stabilize the back of the game from the right side. And with Edwin Diaz gone, who felt like a guy who was on the doorstep if they were probably a little more loving and aggressive to bring back, and they didn't. That's a big question I have for the Mets. Uh, I'm I'm going to spell the back end of this because I don't want to get anyone in trouble. So Richard CUC, you pronounce it how you'd like on Twitter. The lack of quality at bats at the bottom of the Yankee
We'll go with
order.
Kook. Kook.
Kook? Okay,
Yeah.
Richard Kook. Uh,
Okay.
the lack of quality at bats at the bottom of the Yankees order is the one thing that bothers me about having the same lineup as last year. And I want to add this, big fan of the podcast, exclamation point.
I
So
like Kook. I'm a
thank
big
you,
fan of
Richard.
Kook.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Richard. John, go ahead. Why don't you take that? The
Yeah,
bottom.
I mean, I think it's typical of any lineup. I mean, you're not going to have superstars at the bottom of the lineup. Ryan McMahon is good against righties, not lefties. They'll have Ahmed Rosario, who's good against lefties. They'll have obviously shortstop is not Volpe has not lived up to the expectations. He wasn't as good in year three as he was in the previous 2 years. I mean, I think Wells is above average catcher, hitting catcher, even if he isn't what people were hoping for offensively. He has obviously done it defensively, but offensively, I still think he's above average for a catcher. So I don't think that's a big concern. My concern with the Yankees is, as your concern is with the Mets, and I agree with you on that, is the bullpen. I think
Yeah.
neither bullpen is fantastic. And, I said in the middle of last year, I had some scouts telling me the bullpen's not so good with the Yankees, and it proved to be not what it should have been. It should have been better with the names that they did have.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of duplication at the bottom of the Yankee lineup in that it's low batting average, high strikeout. But the end result is the Yankees led the league in scoring last year.
Right.
I think they're returning 8 guys who hit 20 homers last year. So some of that will be from the bottom of the lineup. I think a full year of Caballero's speed will help. The righty diversification of Rosario for a full season with and Goldschmidt back should help. Does Rice take a big step forward? John, I'm with you. The identity of their bullpen is more concerning to me when I look at the Yankees than the lineup. I think they'll score plenty of runs. I think they'll be a top five offense again. This is from Zach Goldstein 24, also from Twitter. Why haven't the Yankees targeted the bullpen this offseason? Oh, well, he's reading our mind. This offseason. They say they aren't running it back, but that's most of their offseason. But their pen looks really shaky, and I don't think it has much after the top three names. John, do we need to go any further on this? Do you think we covered this?
I think we covered that. He's perceptive. I think we all have concerns about the bullpen, both bullpens.
Right. Broadcasting Max on Twitter, John asked if you guys had to pick two teams that made the playoffs last year that you don't think won't that you think won't get to October this year, who would they be?
Well, I'll start with the Reds.
Yeah.
It was a surprise last year that they made it, and I'll throw out the Phillies. They're getting a little bit older,
Yep.
so I'll go with those two in the National League. We got to think the Mets are going to make it, right? So they're going to take one spot. I mean, I'm not going to say the Phillies are not going to make it for sure, but if I was asked two teams, those are the two I'm going to pick.
Yeah, I think the Reds are kind of like chalk on this, so I'm gonna go ahead and pick the Reds also. You know what? You pick the Reds, so I'll say Cleveland. Why don't I pick two teams who somehow figure it out every year, and we'll probably figure it out this year, which is Cleveland and Milwaukee. Like, I don't know how Milwaukee keeps bleeding players and still wins 90 something
Amazing.
game, whatever their secret sauce is. Cleveland also, I guess, part of the magic is they're both in central divisions, which are not as powerful as the coastal divisions, are. But at some point, I'll say the magic will run out for both teams, both of whom did less than more or gave up more this offseason. And I just think at some point that's got to catch up to you. So,
Yeah, Milwaukee. I mean, I want to give Milwaukee some credit now that you
so I,
say that.
I think that they, yes.
Yeah, I mean, they were dominant against every division. They're the best team in baseball in the regular season, right? It's not just the Central, but I mean, certainly it's easier to be in the Central slightly, maybe, but I don't think it's a huge. And maybe in the American League, it's a bigger deal. I don't think it's that big a deal in the National League. Cubs are a good team. The other teams are working on it. We'll see.
And I think this is going to be our final one from at Mike Ree 602-59113. I hope we're not giving like your social security number, Mike
Maybe
Ree.
it's his
Uh,
phone number. He lives in Phoenix.
yes,
Yeah.
and the question is, what's a day in the life of an experienced professional writer like, especially during the off season? John, just let me. I'm going to let you answer this, but I do want to throw flowers here. Like John came on the Yankee beat in 1990. That was my second year. In some way, we've worked against each other or with each other at multiple places since then. I'm here to. Part of the answer is nobody works as relentlessly and competitively as John Heyman. I just even now with us both in a more advanced age, your fire to get it right, get it first, be informative. Like now, I get to see behind the scenes much more than I ever did before. It's people should know who buy the post, either online or in the newspaper or watch us on MLB Network. John is tireless, and the word that comes to mind all the time is relentless. And I love relentless people. He's relentless when it comes to gathering news.
But I thank you very much, Phil. That's very nice of you. I'm glad you said more advanced age. I would say I'm the most advanced age. You're a young whippersnapper compared to me. So, yeah, I mean, I find I do weird things like take the phone and put it so I can see it while I'm in the shower. I don't actually take the phone into the shower, but I can see if I'm getting any texts while I'm in the shower, and I have jumped out. I mean, when I was in Japan on a vacation. I slept with it on my head basically, so I would hear it to wake me up if there was anything going on. It's I'm a little crazy. There are several of us out there who are like that, and it's certainly become a lot more competitive. We used to be able to wait for things a little bit, but now it's seconds, and then as soon as somebody gets it first, then everybody will. Generally, if you have some kind of source, you'll be able to follow it. But it is quite a competition, and yeah, I am a little crazy, and I appreciate the flowers, Joel.
Yeah, no, well earned ones. The only thing I'll add to it is for people who take this ultra seriously, and I think John and I fall into that bucket. Um, and I won't speak for John here because I'm about to say something is like it is not exactly a child the job. Your children are more important. John and I are blessed. We both have great children. Uh, but it is like having a child a little bit. It's just with you. Like if you're asking me what's a day in the life of an experienced professional writer like, it's just that I'm never not thinking about it. I'm never not thinking about who I should call, text, what I should write, how I could do it different than it's been done. What's the competition doing? What are my colleagues? I just am 24/7. It's not healthy, I don't think.
Right.
But it's just with me all the time. I can't shake it. Uh, and I'm just bad at not having it with me. And like for better or worse, that's my life. It's the Godfather. This is the life we've chosen. But it is obsessive. And in some ways, John and I have done this for a long time and have advanced to certain places. And I think we're both working harder than we've ever worked in more, including places like this, like whoever thought we do podcasts, webcasts, like online only like it's the workload is somewhat significant and we're blessed. My father was a truck driver. I always pointed out I'm blessed to do this, but it is a child to some degree that never leaves me.
Yeah, it's with more things, the job has gotten I don't want to say harder, but more time consuming, right? And we didn't have until 2008 or nine, we didn't have Twitter. Certainly weren't at podcast. The MLB Network started around that time, and yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot, and now certainly Twitter makes it very difficult because then you are racing to get something, and don't always have time to check with a million sources.
Yeah.
Uh, you
Leads to
know,
worse journalism. I don't think it's been. I can't say anything positive about Twitter. One of the negatives I would say is it's hurt mental health and it's hurt journalism. So I think it's a net negative. But this is again this is the jobs we've decided to do, and you got to live with it. And we're appreciative of the people who follow us in every way, including on this podcast and including sending these questions today. And we hope to continue to do stuff like this moving forward.